Hi, James here. I've been asked to do a couple of videos on adjusting the tone arm on a turntable. I've been doing a lot of technical videos lately, you know, how to strip them apart and fix things inside, and I haven't really been concentrating on the basic simple stuff, like you know, how to adjust weight and height and tracking and all sorts of stuff. I did a video a while back on how to adjust the anti-skate, so I'm going to do a few more like this. Now the reason for this particular video is because I've had a couple of emails, people saying they're completely new to this. They've gone out and bought themselves a second-hand pair of Technics turntables and they haven't got a clue what the height adjustment on the base of the tone arm is actually for. What's the purpose of it? Why would you want to adjust the height up and down? Well, I'm going to first of all quickly explain to you what the reason is behind the height adjustment, and then I'll show you how to set it properly. So first of all, I'm going to move the camera quickly and I'm going to do some drawings. Right, now, crazy doodle time. Now, I've done all the doodling beforehand just to save time. Right, now, if you imagine there is your tone arm, bit of a crap drawing, but bear with me. There's your tone arm, there's your cartridge, and there's all your back tone arm assembly and your counterweight. Now, if you imagine you had the tone arm base too high, okay, what's going to happen is the back of the tone arm is going to be too high as opposed to the front, which is going to be too low, and then you're going to end up with a lean. It's going to lean downwards towards the cartridge, and what's going to happen then is your needle is going to be sitting like that in the groove. Now, slight exaggeration there, but you know, you get the idea. It's going to be sort of on the lean that way in the groove. Okay, now if you imagine now you've now got the tone arm set too low, okay, it's going to be leaning backwards towards the base of the tone arm, which means the base is going to be too low as opposed to the cartridge being too high, and that's going to cause the needle to sit in the groove like that. Again, slight exaggeration, but you get the idea. It's going to be leaning like that. Now, if you have the tone arm set completely level and the cartridge end of the tone arm is the same height as the base end of the tone arm, then the needle's going to be sitting in the groove like that, nice and level, nice and flat. Now, like that, you're going to be getting better sound quality, it's going to make your vinyls last longer, and also it's going to be less likely to jump. Now, if you imagine now that my finger is the needle, sorry, and this folded bit of paper here is the groove. Now, if it was too low, okay, so the base of the tone arm was too low and the cartridge was too high, the needle's going to be like that in the groove. Now, if you see it running along the groove like that, you can see that's going to sort of dig into your records because it's like that. It's going to dig in. Now, if you imagine you had it now too high and the needle's going to be sitting like that, as it's going forward, it's not going to dig in, but if you then spin it backwards, it is going to dig in. Okay? Now, if you imagine you had it flat like that in the groove, it's running in the groove flat like that, it's not going to dig and it's not going to jump, and also the sound quality is going to be better because the weight of the weight on the cartridge, sorry, is going to be pushing directly down into the groove and not at an angle where it's going to dig as it goes along. So I hope you get all that. I'll show you how to set it up properly now. There's a few different ways you can do it, but I'm going to show you a way that I use that I personally think is possibly the easiest way to do it. Right, now, I appreciate this might be quite hard to see, so I've put a record sleeve at the back there, just in hope you can see this a little bit better. Right, now, first thing you want to do is put a piece of vinyl on there, like that. That's the first thing you want to do. Now, the only other thing you're going to need for this is a ruler that's got your preferred unit of measurement on it. So for me, that's millimeters. You might prefer inches, I don't know, but just find a ruler or something to measure with. Right, now, first of all, if I put that needle on there like that, now I can see that that's actually sloped down slightly. You might not be able to see that. If I cut some of the light off there, you might just be able to see it's sloped down very slightly. Now, that is such a small amount that you might think, nah, well, so it's not going to make much of a difference. Now, if I was just to lift this up here and bring it up till it was level by my eye, so I'm just going to eye it up till I think it's level. Okay, that's about level. Now you can see, look how much I've had to actually lift that off. That was what it was. That's unlevel, and now if I bring it up to level, there. So you can see I've had to lift it up quite a lot. So although it doesn't look like it's leaning by a lot, that translates to quite a lot when you have to bring it up level. So what you want to do initially is just bring it down by eye. So level it by eye. Lift the tone arm up until it's where you think it's level, and then bring it down till the needle touches the vinyl. Like that. So that looks about level to me, but we'll check it, we'll double check. Right, now, next you want to take your ruler or your tape measure or whatever you're using, and you just want to take a measurement from the back here. So lay it flat on the faceplate of the turntable, and as far back as you can, take a measurement of the back of the tone arm. Now you want to go from either the bottom or the top, whatever's easiest for you. Now I'm going to take a measurement from the bottom of the tone arm. Now you can't see that, but that's 25 millimeters. So 25 mil, so nearly an inch. If we measure from the front here, we can see that's 24 there. So 25 there, 24 there, so it's about a millimetre out. Now on the top here you'll have some numbers on the top of this bit here that you rotate to take it up and down. Now at the moment that's on 2. So if I just take this down until it's at 1, like that, that means that that's now going to take that down by 1 millimetre, and we should be equal both sides. So that's about 23 and a half there, and that's just over 23 now. So we're about, I don't know, a quarter of a millimetre out by this point. Now that would be good enough for now, because at the end of the day, as soon as you take this piece of vinyl off and put another piece of vinyl on, that other piece of vinyl will be thicker than this piece. Every piece of vinyl is a different thickness, so you could get it almost spot on and it would still go out when you put a different vinyl on anyway. But you want to make sure it's as level as you can get it first initially before you start using it, because like I say, it can start digging at your records. So once you've done that, you just want to lock in position. On a different turntable the lock might be in a different place or whatever, but just lock it up so that it doesn't move, and then that's it, and you're set. So once you've got the tone arm completely level, that is when it's at its optimum, because you're going to get better sound quality, it's less likely to jump, and also it can make your vinyls last longer. Right, now let's talk about how often you should do this and when you should actually do it. Well, you should adjust this every time you buy new slip mats, every time you buy new cartridges or needles. Reason being, every cartridge and every needle is a different size, and also it'll be a different weight. Now believe it or not, that does make a difference, because the more weight you add on it, the more it's going to push the needle down, obviously affecting the height. And how often you should do it? Well, ideally as often as you can. It only really takes just a couple of seconds to quickly grab a ruler and go yep, and just check whether it's level or not. But the most ideal times to check it is if you've moved the turntables from one place to another, or you're resetting them up, or you take them out on a gig with you, so basically before the function. And just by setting that up, you're basically guaranteeing that you're going to get the most optimum performance out of your turntables. Well, now just one quick thing to bear in mind. Now I did this with a Concord style cartridge, but bearing in mind it's the same procedure for a headshell style cartridge. But just one more thing to look out for: make sure that the headshell needle is pushed on properly, and make sure the screws are done up properly as well. Make sure they're not loose or wobbly. So there you go. I hope this video was a help, and I hope it was easy enough to follow. If you've got any questions, just leave some comments below. I'll put any relevant information in the description. I will hopefully soon be doing another video on the tone arm, how to adjust the weight on a tone arm, so tune into that one. But I hope this video was a help. Thank you for watching. Nice one.